Welcome, it's the Moss and Marriage Gold Show. God oversees all love story. I'm your boy, Dr. Deontay Moss.
And I'm Dr. Crantea Moss.
And we are Moss and Marriage, including God in everything that we do. But we got special guests in the building. It's the Mixon!
Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Oh, man, thank you, man, for having us. We're so excited about tonight.
We
I'm
are
excited.
happy to have y'all.
We're happy to be here, man. We are happy to be here. She couldn't quit talking about it. I didn't stop listening to it. I started talking about it.
Yeah.
And then when we found out where it was, I'm like, oh, we've been here before.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to remember that. So, yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah. Definitely happy to have y'all here, man.
Yeah.
I've known y'all for years. I know you was like a principal, and I think we met in the educational system somewhere.
Yes. We were in the office there.
I met you. Y'all was doing the plays.
Oh, yeah. I saw that too.
Yep, Cracking Your Foundation, right?
Right,
Cracks,
yeah.
because that's your book, right?
Yes, it is.
So we've always kind of had like, hey, always on each other coattails, you know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing to have you on the show, definitely.
Man, thank you for having us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, my wife likes to start things out with an icebreaker. That's the teacher in her.
Uh-oh.
Okay? So she gonna have a little game for us to play before we get into this. Okay?
All right.
Y'all ready?
Yeah,
Ready.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so this game is called, I think I'm going to call it Talk to Me Nicely. The goal of the game is you have to say what's in here to your person nicely. Basically, you have to have this difficult conversation in a nice way. Okay. Everybody's going to pull one. I'm going to empty them out. Everybody's going to pull one. And then whatever yours say, you'll have to initiate that conversation with your spouse and vice versa.
Oh, okay. So you was playing this game earlier today?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. How was that?
It's all right.
Yeah. Did you catch that?
I had to talk to him today.
Yeah.
So he asked me, was I playing this game? All right.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Everybody, you guys can go first. Pull yours. And then we'll pull after.
Gotta see which piece of paper looks better.
Okay, cool. That was me. All right.
Oh, you want to
So then do we...
Them stacked up.
Right.
Them must be the good questions. They all gravitated to each other.
Oh, sweet.
We gotta say it
Yeah,
nicely.
you can work with this.
Yeah, I've said this several times.
Oh,
But have you said it nicely?
I haven't said this not I haven't said this not one time.
Oh.
It's gonna be nice. Trust me. Okay. I haven't said this not one
Let's
time.
go.
Not once.
Okay.
Okay. So you going first? You want to go first?
No, I'm going to let you go first. Go ahead, man.
Ladies first.
Okay,
All
here
right,
we go.
Don't tell them what it say. Just have the
Okay.
conversation with
Okay,
them.
cool.
And we're going to try to figure out where you're
Okay. And so we got to figure out what she's talking about?
Yeah, or
Okay.
just try to play with it.
Okay.
I see you have your favorite outfit on today.
Where I wear the same clothes all the time, is that what you're trying to say?
I'm just saying, babe, that you know what? I want to take you shopping. I want to do something good for you. I love you. And I want you to look nice because you represent me so well. And I want that vice versa.
You better talk your talk.
What? It's on me. Anything you want, I want to take you out.
That was cold.
Okay.
Look.
Whoa, I like how you
Get some
split
ice
that.
cream.
Yes.
Does that sound like you about to cake me?
Out.
Ice cream.
What was it? You don't like his outfits?
It's time to let that outfit go.
I told you. I wear the outfit too much. What?
But she laid it on there.
Yeah, she did her thing.
So
She
now
did
it's
her
your
thing.
turn? Is it your
Or you can go. or you
Oh,
want
my
us to go?
turn?
Oh, can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
And I have taken him shopping before.
Okay.
Recently.
That's what you do. So the key is
Birthday.
wearing clothes that they don't like.
Well,
They'll take you shopping.
okay. I got you. That makes sense. All right, so here's mine. Yeah, I'm sweating too. This is a difficult conversation, and it is one. Sweetheart, I love you so much. I love you so much. And the most beautiful thing about you that I love is your stature and your height. Everything is great about you.
Yes.
In the last couple of weeks, last couple of months,
Yes.
I've noticed a change.
Uh-oh.
And it's a significant change, but
Okay.
it's for me, and I love it.
Okay.
Because you was in a size like 10, and now you're like in a size 14.
Okay.
And it is appealing, and it is amazing.
Yes.
I don't know how you feel about it,
Yes.
but I love it. And so I'm going to ask you, would you go up to a size 16 or maybe 18? Would you think about that?
You want me to put on some weight? Absolutely.
See, I love you.
So oh, baby.
That was a very difficult conversation. And you said that eloquently out of mouth. And the way, but the key words at the beginning, the build up was like,
I was on the edge of my seat, like, what
hey,
is
look,
it?
look, it's not for you. It's for me. That's what, not for you. For me.
Y'all killing this. Y'all good at this.
No, they're great at this. They must have great,
Good
tough
communication.
communication. Tough
All the
conversation.
All the
All the
time.
time.
That's what's up. They say it's key. All right.
All the time.
All right, so, all right.
You wanna go?
No, it's your turn, ladies first.
All right. Babe, so we about to clean the house and stuff, right? Can you do the bathroom that you use? Because sometimes it be stuff still in there after you use it, and I don't really like cleaning it.
Okay. Yeah, I clean my bathroom. I just want to say, all these is my bathrooms. But I'll definitely clean it. Yeah, you want to clean the one downstairs, the one that I use a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure I get to that. Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes can you just kind of check it before you leave out of there, because it still be stuff in there sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You got me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good looking.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
What was yours saying? What was that called?
Clean out the toilet after you poop.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I do have some janitorial skills. And make sure y'all clean the bottom of y'all toilets when y'all be cleaning y'all toilets. Yeah, I got nothing to do. All right? Don't just clean the inside. It's to go around the toilet, everything.
The bowl.
Yeah, the whole bowl. If you ain't doing nothing tonight, do that later. All right. So I got to have this tough conversation. All right. Here we go. Hey, babe, how you doing? You all right?
Oh, well.
You going out with your friends again?
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah, that's what's up. You know, I like when you hang out with your friends and stuff, but I want you to kind of think about if your friends really have your best interests at heart.
You don't think so?
Well, I just want you to see, because you would know better than me. So I just want you to just open that door and look at that situation to see, are they really your friends, or do they like what you can do for them? You know what I'm saying? Just look at it, you know.
Yeah.
Not just because I love you.
I love
And I want the best for you. And, you know, I want this, you know, you to have the best of everything. So just look at that situation and see if, you know, it's a situation you want to be involved in or you want to do. Can you do that for me?
I got you.
You know, because it's not, I was about to say it's for me, it's for you, but it's not. It didn't work. It didn't work that way. What I'm trying to say is your friends is trash. That's what the card said. I was like, ooh, this
Your
tough.
friends is
How do I say that? Because I probably would have said, your friend's trash.
Yeah. Wow.
That was good. That was real
Wow.
I didn't know how to say it. I was trying to put the sweetness on it.
good. You definitely did
I
good.
did.
Because you had me thinking like, dang, I need to do a circle check. Well,
I
I'm gonna
know.
try to holler at you.
You
or
really think about your
something?
friends?
No, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Real
All
good.
right. Yeah, we don't.
How y'all like
learn
it?
a lot
Like
from y'all, I
it?
can tell.
It was good. It
We're
was
gonna learn a
good.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way y'all did that,
Oh,
that was
man.
pretty
For
impressive.
sure, for
man.
sure.
Okay.
So let's get into y'all love story.
Hmm.
Let's start there.
How did the mixes meet?
Oh, wow.
Shani
Am I going
and Jay.
Yeah.
Jay and Shani.
Let's hear how we met.
Okay. So back in 2006, I first came in the room. We had a same workplace, and I saw him. I remember he was one of the first people that I saw to my left, and you did make my heart go pitter pat, you know. Fine, you know, you were fine, okay. And what got me was you know, back in the day, the ringtones. Well, he had a ringtone, and it was a gospel song, I forgot who it was.
You said
It was,
he saved, huh?
He was saved. I said, ooh, that ringtone. Play that again.
Won't he do it? Gotta do it.
But then we were just kind of trying to keep it like just professional. So it really wasn't anything. It was so. I ended up leaving that position after about a year, but I came back. I came back, and then after that, it just exploded. Like you were just totally in love with me. Okay, no, let me. You were very helpful.
We're gonna let you finish.
You were very helpful. You know, like you were always like, if you need anything, you can. I can do that for you. Like, if I needed something done at work, you would do that, and I was so appreciative. And then after that, we just started building our relationship from there. And it was just like a firebomb, like an explosion of love.
Oh, okay.
See?
Yeah.
I love the way she talks.
Them keywords she be using before
I do.
Yeah.
Right over the head. So then we'll give the story, the true story. So we were at the same place of employment in 2006, and she did say I was fine. So that's past tense, like not now. So let's get that established. But we were there. We were there at the place of employment, and I did see her, and I do like tall women, and she was like beautiful. I'm like, oh my God, like a model. Not kidding.
Okay.
I was like, wow. And then she was there, and I kept looking at her, but I was afraid to talk to her. No joke. I was afraid to talk to her. I would talk to the other 15, 20 people there. I wouldn't say nothing to her. I didn't want to talk to her because I was afraid I might say the wrong thing, or so I just kept it like, hey, how you doing? Need some help, I can assist you. Whereas other people, I was talking like we were brothers and sisters. And so we had a conversation like that, and then I had a clothing store, and she would come out to the store to visit. And one day I said, well, if you come out here, it's going to be dangerous. And she said, I'm not going to. It's PG. You come out to the store, it's going to be dangerous. She said, really? I said, yeah. I said, you don't want to swim in these waters now because I'm a shark. And she said, yeah, right. And she came in as a little shrimp. I'm just kidding.
Not Nemo.
No, she came out to the store and we had a conversation out there then. And from there, it just like, I think this might be the one. And so we talked and we dated a while, and next thing you know, we were there.
Wow.
And it's been amazing since then, honestly.
So you knew at the store?
Oh, no, I knew at the place of employment.
Wow.
It was just that, she caught my eye.
Yeah.
And when they catch your eye and it's the right one, you don't look nowhere else. Look for what? Yeah. It's like now I'm blind. Even though I want to look at something, I'm blind. So it was like, that was it.
That's powerful.
That was it, man. That was it.
Yeah.
And it was like, from there, it was just, everything was great.
How you like the deep waters?
I love swimming.
There you go.
Swimming is deep.
Yeah. And
Shock attack. It was a shock attack.
It's been a great ride, though. It's been fun.
great.
Up here, 13 years, right?
13? Y'all been married 13 years?
13
13
years.
years,
In
yeah.
October.
In October, 13 years, yeah.
How long y'all been together?
13 years.
14
14 years.
Okay.
14 years.
So
We
it
started dating 14 years ago, but then we got married like a year after.
So it took her about a year?
We got it, yeah. Because I was like, I'm not playing games.
That part.
But he said that too. He did. We just knew that we were not about to be playing this thing wrong. Like, we wanted to do the God thing, so we were not playing around, and extended amounts of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, she kind of laid it on me like that too. She said, "Look, if you ain't trying to marry me, don't talk to me."
See?
Right
I
there.
said, "Who do you think you are? Like, why would you say that to me?" But okay, yeah, I'm really trying to talk to you.
And you're married though, right?
Yeah, it took us. We officially started dating New Year's Eve of going into 2011.
Yeah.
2010, 2011. That night, we made it official. We posted it on social media.
Wow.
Didn't nobody know. Everybody, we just posted it. Our sisters went crazy. I got a very protective sister. She got a very protective sister. They was like, "Who is it?" Then they ended up becoming like the best of friends. But they was like arguing on the stand. We like, this is not how it's supposed to start. But 9 months after that, I proposed.
How many?
9 months.
So
I proposed 9/26.
Thank you. See. So, how many months in a year?
12.
It's 12.
12. So help her, because she said we dated for 12 months. No, it was more like 10.
Oh.
And we were was married like in 10 months. You know,
Okay.
because we knew.
Around the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I say we knew. I mean, I do, and she knew because she did tell me that I'm not gonna, I don't want no boyfriend. I told her I didn't want one either.
Okay.
We agreed with that. so here we are, 13 years later, and we got about maybe 50 more ahead.
Yeah,
That
that's what's up.
part.
Yeah. We got 11. We just celebrated 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this year will be 12.
Okay.
We got about how many more ahead?
Huh? For Ave.
There it is.
You know why I say
For
forever?
Ave.
No R. You know why? Because forever never ends. If you don't add an R, play with it.
Oh, forever. Okay, then I adopted that. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I love our similarities in that we both were kind of like, not kind of, we both said, I don't need another boyfriend. That was the conversation I had with Deontay too, because Deontay and I had been hanging out in group settings for years. Like everybody who worked at the Boys and Girls Club would hang out together. So you see me at least 3 to 4 nights a week already.
Yeah.
Why do you need to be my boyfriend? Was kind of the conversation that I was having with him, trying to get him to see that just wasn't what I was on. And then it sounded like you kind of said the same thing.
Yes.
Like, we already hanging out. What is this about?
Yeah.
Right.
How did you, I want to know how both of y'all actually, well, you kind of already told me how you feel, but let's just still share it. How did y'all feel about us being up front and forward about what we wanted?
I was cool with it. I was cool with it because I had come to a point in my life where I was just tired anyway. And when I say that, I don't mean in a negative manner. It's just that, once you do something so long, it gets old. And so you want to do something for the rest of your life. Like, for example, I've worked a lot, but it was just jobs. But now I have a career.
Yeah.
And so being young, I had kids young, and so I didn't marry, had kids, but I wanted to settle down. I wanted a wife. I wanted a family. And so I didn't grow up with the dad. My dad was there, but I didn't grow up with him. And so it was my mom. And so I said, I don't want kids no more like that. And so when she said that, it was nothing she actually said that I didn't agree with. She just said it before I did. So it made it easy for me.
Okay.
And so we got together, and it's been beautiful. I mean, you got your ups and downs, but we have more ups and downs. I say this a lot in church, that when we met, we were trying to get on the same page. And then finally, as things get together, you start communicating, you get on the same page. And then if you communicate right, you get in the same paragraph. Well, if you have great communication, you're in the same sentence, and that's where we're at right now.
Ooh.
So we're in the same sentence. So, yeah.
We definitely coming back to that. 'Cause everybody talk about the value of communication.
Yeah.
Not only did I like that analogy, I want to know how we get on the same sentence. So we're going to have you talk about that. Did you want to chime in?
I kind of want to hear the same
Oh,
sentence.
okay, well, let's dive back into that. I didn't know if you wanted to answer the question on how you felt about that, but go ahead then.
Go ahead and answer that.
But no, I had an unction, and I was intrigued by the way you approached me. I ain't never been approached like that. But I knew that I was looking for, to do things right in the right way. And I knew what I think drew me to you was your spirituality at the time. I know I wasn't looking and you wasn't looking. And we kind of had those conversations. We was kind of working on ourselves and our faith and, kind of like, living that life. But I think we got stronger in Christ and built, and I saw you rise and I saw me rise. And to me, it just made sense. I felt like God was like, yeah, that's my gift. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Did you see how I set you up? Bing, man, great.
Right.
Thank you.
That's nice. Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Real nice.
What's
Real
crazy is, I not crazy, but we were talking about that Defining Moments book at church on Sunday that you be reading.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my husband already kind of in a lot of ways been, I don't even know if it's okay for me to say, but my pastor, far as teaching me
I got you.
the word. When we first got together, I don't even think we were together when we used to get up and run at 5 o'clock in the morning. At the park, we used to get up and run at 5 a.m. And then we'll study the Bible or study the word, and he'll teach me different Bible stories out of this book called Defining Moments. And I always remember that. And then now he's kind of like going into ministry, and well, he's been in ministry, but God is taking him to another level with it.
I think that's good because I know one of the things that attracted me to Jay was that his walk with God, and that actually was the most attractive thing that that brought me to you. And I know right before we got married, because we eloped to Atlanta and we got married. That's another story, I guess. But we eloped and we got married. But I remember we had some counseling before that, and the minister asked us or asked me why did I want to get married, and that was what I said. He makes me want to know God more.
Yeah.
Because I saw what God was doing in his life, and so I wanted that same thing as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you know, even in it's we have to be the priest of our home. So that was strong that you said that.
Yeah.
I felt like that
I
was
was like,
powerful
I
that
don't
you
know
said
if I'm
that.
allowed to say
Nah,
that.
that's
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying. Just
a
about.
lot of ways I still feel like I'm so new in Christ, like far as, well, I don't even know if I should say Christ. I have relationship, but far as religion and learning what's okay to say, or, if it's okay for me to say like my husband is my pastor, or, because I do have a bishop and I do have a pastor and I do go to a church.
Right.
But my husband, when I don't understand something, even if my bishop said, I'm like,
But we
"Babe."
connected, we won, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like we help each other in that area.
Yeah.
And you do a lot for me, and that you help me with a lot of stuff too. So I think that's just what it is. Like we make sure we both kind of stay on the right track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we help each other with that. Or if I know a story that can help, or we learn from that, I'm learning too.
Right.
You think I'm teaching? I'm like, getting in this man cold like.
So you guys asked the question, like, how do you get on the same sentence? See, you guys
Yeah.
are already, y'all on the same page, and it seems like y'all already, excuse me, working in the same paragraph. But the same sentence is when you see a flaw, you correct it without arguing or pointing out, like, you did that wrong. No, help you out. So you said, when I'm doing something, she helps me, I help her. That's how you get in the same sentence. Because we just played a game, how to talk nice, and it's communication. So we'll have a conversation, and if it's something that might in the past bring us some, like, I'm not talking to you for the rest of the day, that's not even an option anymore. It's like, let me take a moment. I learned that from her because I would ask her something, man, and it would irritate me so bad. I would ask her a question, right, and she would take a day or two before she get back with me. And I'm like, by the time she answers the question, I done forgot what the question was. I don't want to hear the answer. And that was 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
But what she would always tell me, and it's like maybe a year or so, maybe longer, she said, I needed time to process what you said. And I said, what? Why? So after I started learning her language, that when I say something to you, it's going to take a moment.
Yeah.
So I don't need to get the answer really right away.
Yeah.
Well, now the answer comes right away because she done processed it as I was saying it. And so we've learned each other's languages. So, but if I say something where she might need a moment, I understand it. I don't get mad no more. I'm not frustrated, and I kind of wait for the answer.
Yeah.
And so we have those moments, where I understand her language, she understands mine. So, for example, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head, if she said something I didn't like and I looked away, she knew that I don't want to hear it. I'm just using an example. And it wouldn't be disrespectful. It's like, I just don't feel like hearing that right now. And she understood that, or would understand that. And same thing here. So that way it doesn't get any further and we don't argue about it. It's like, he need a moment. And so we have those type of languages.
Yeah, it's very important to know languages too,
Very,
because
very.
we want to love people the way we want to be loved, but hey, ain't always you
The
gotta love
case.
them the way they need to be loved.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So love language is definitely important.
For sure.
Yeah.
Can you tap into an example of where a couple could potentially be on, or what that process of being on the same page to getting in the same paragraph to now being on this, like a concrete example or a practical example?
Yeah, definitely. So to get on the same page, first you must listen. It's important to listen without prejudging, because what I always thought was right was not always right. And I have to admit that I'm not right. And so we have a unique relationship because she's educationally smart and I'm street smart. And so what she doesn't know, I provide. And what I don't know, she provides. And when I don't know educationally wise, it's like 90%. And she'll like dot the I, cross the T.
Yeah.
And so I'll have to tell her street stuff. Then when I say street language and just common sense stuff, because she's educated and she'll overlook the, something that's very important to me.
Yeah.
So for example, we went to New York, right? A couple 5 or 6 years ago. And I know how to get out of New York, I couldn't get out of New York. And she didn't know nothing about it and thought it was kind of odd. But when she did her first bargain, she saved $1 or $5 or something. We
I
bought a
think it
scarf.
may have been 10.
She was so excited. She was so excited. And I was like, babe, you still paid too much. Let me do it. So I went back because that's my area.
Yeah.
And she understood it without getting mad and said, I can't do nothing. She didn't do that. She let me do that. Same thing with her when
that's
she
powerful.
corrects my I's and dot my T's. And she,
What?
For a moment there.
That's why I'm laughing, right? She'll do this to this day. I'll make a post. She'll call me or text me and say, get that down because the I is not dotted and there's no comma or period. I'm like, all right. And so I don't even post no more. I let her do it. That's how you starting to get in the same page and start realizing I'm not always right. I don't have all the answers. And I got to live with that. Because as humans, we don't want to say we're wrong about something. And it's hard for me at the time to say I was sorry because I'm never sorry for nothing because I never do nothing to be sorry for.
My goodness.
And that's just be real. And so I would always say my bad to anybody, male or female, but my bad don't hold no weight to me. I'm sorry means the world. And so for me, not to say I'm sorry, I'm going to really watch what I say. Really be careful on how I say my words, how I talk to her, how I treat her. Because if I treat her and I have to say I'm sorry, that means I did something wrong. And I don't want to be wrong when it comes to her. So I watch what I say and I admit that I'm wrong. And she does the same thing. We apologize a lot. Even if I say something I'm really sure if I got her upset or not, I just say, hey, I'm sorry for that. And we move from there. And so we don't go to bed angry. We used to, but as you mature, you realize I can't go to bed mad at her or him. We can't go to bed mad. We pray at nighttime. We get in the bed before we go to sleep, grab her hand, and I'll pray or she'll pray. I'll say, you praying tonight? No, I prayed last night. Pray again. So we getting on that same page to just realize I don't have all the answers. She don't have all the answers. I'm apologetic. She's apologetic. And there's an understanding to that. And once you start denying that you don't know everything, you can learn a lot more, a whole lot more, a lot more.
Can I add that, like, also, you need to be careful about how you talk to people in a sense that when he says that I process things, I do, because one thing the Bible talks about is being slow to speak and slow to anger. And once you put those words out there, you can't take them back. You can apologize for them, but the truth of the matter is they're out there and your spouse is not going to forget that. And that's something that can be seeded down inside and it's hard to get rid of. So I try to make sure that whatever I say, it's not going to be something that's going to tear him down. And I think that that's also put us on the same page because surprisingly, there are a lot of people who do not talk to their spouses right. And it amazes me. I'm like, wow, that's so rude and that's so disrespectful. And how can that be like that? And I said that I don't, that's not godlike. And I don't want our union to ever be like that. It's not healthy.
And it can't be controlled because we do it. I know we don't talk to our boss any kind of way.
Exactly.
We go to work. We have little sweet stuff on our tongue, even though we might not like the situation or what's going on, but we know how to talk to them. Why we don't do that with our spouses? You know what I'm saying? So, and I like how you talked about apologizing too, because we used to have a saying where we talked about how, what was it saying? Do you want to be married or you want to be right or you want to be married? Do you want to be right or you want to be married? Like, you know what? I want to be bad for 3 days. I'm sorry. Yes. Please, let's be married again.
That's good.
It's real because sometimes a lot of people are bumping heads because they arguing their point instead of trying to get to a solution. Like at the end of the day, we still gonna be together, so let's figure it out. And if it's a matter where you want to be married, you're gonna figure it out.
That's true.
And then sometimes it don't even be as big as you. The argument ain't even what.
So true.
Like we really arguing over this.
Yes.
Like this. What? This. Okay.
Exactly.
I didn't used to argue like that though. I was thinking about it right as we were talking. I remember she used to do something that would make me so mad. Like take the toothpaste and squeeze it in the middle to put your toothpaste on? Oh, I didn't grow up like that. Oh,
You weren't raised that way?
No. The toilet paper, you put on a roll from this way, you pull it from the bottom, and she pulls it from the top. Oh,
That's so funny. She do the same thing.
oh my God.
Like I'm raised at the bottom. She like, yo, what's up? So she said, go to your bathroom.
See? Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, that's nice. I had to deal with that, you know. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I deal with this? Because you keep squeezing the middle. And so I had to find out a solution. And it was buy my own toothpaste. And I bought my own toothpaste. With the toilet paper, it really wasn't that serious no more. So I learned that if we have a problem, let's look for a solution first before you come with the problem. Even if we don't use the solution, at least we have one with the problem.
Right.
So we can try to figure it out from there.
I would like to put on record that I do not squeeze the toothpaste anymore. Okay, that was like 6 years ago.
What about then?
Yeah. A lot of people, I think, though, squeeze it in the middle versus sliding from the. I get it.
Hey, I know people that cut it open. You know, it depends on how you raised.
Right. True.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I know you don't like the certain toothpaste. She like a certain kind of toothpaste. So I was getting another kind of toothpaste what I thought was the same brand, but it was a different flavor. She like, So we had to get the right flavor.
Oh yeah.
So now I know what to get now.
Yeah, that's what we do. We get a certain toothpaste, certain flavor. Yeah.
And I think, too, kind of what I hear you saying is when you know your triggers in your relationship, then you figure out a way how to address those triggers so y'all can still coexist.
Yeah.
And that, it kind of reminded me of when we had that basket. It was a basket in our guest room for forever, to me, what felt like forever. And I was talking to my therapist about it, and my therapist had to challenge me and ask Crantel, you the one who gave meaning to that basket. That basket didn't do anything to you. So she asked me literally, what does that basket mean to you? Because you're too mad about it. And it came, to me after doing the work. In my mind, I feel like he put that basket there to make me mad because he know I don't like baskets right there.
Wow.
But it's because, too, I like everything in its proper place.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I believed he put it there because he knew I didn't want it there and he was trying to make me mad. She like, you chose to put that meaning to that basket. In the moment she said that, I chose to tell myself, that's not what it means. He could have put it there because he didn't feel like putting it away. He could have put it there because he liked his stuff being in the basket. I didn't even know why he put it there. I made up all of this stuff in my own head. So I think that's another thing that we have to be conscious of, identifying what our triggers are in our marriage. And then we get to choose, why is that trigger a trigger?
And I think that's so important because you got that from therapy or counseling and stuff like that. And I think it's important to have that. And I noticed that y'all mentioned earlier that y'all did some counseling, right?
It was like briefly, before.
Do you think all married couples should have some type of therapy or counseling?
And I think it all depends. I mean, I definitely believe premarital counseling is key. It is key because the dynamics change from dating to marriage. It's a big dynamic change there, and what I've seen over the years. But I think that I don't know because we can talk, and we haven't had counseling or needed counseling that I don't think of since we've been married because we just figured it out. We figured out, like when you say triggers. Honestly, do you know any triggers of mine that I might have that can trigger me or something?
Shoes in the kitchen, like if the kids take off their shoes.
I'm talking about me and you. Kids are triggers alone by themselves.
I can't think of anything truly that triggers you, but like I do think it's important. If you feel like you need counseling in the marriage, I think you should go.
And I think that's what it is too. It's key because my pastor always say that. She said, you can come get this word, be filled with this word. You're gonna get everything you need, right? Yeah. And I understand that. And then some people are mature enough to be able to come ready in the relationship to do the work that they need to do. Yeah. But then I feel like we needed it at the beginning because we instantly became the example of marriage in our entire family, like, right?
Oh.
And because we was like the first people to get married in our family, and we didn't know what we was doing. That's why we started this whole platform. That's how it all started, because we wanted to learn the skills, tools, and challenges about marriage, and for us to be together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So we can figure it out. But then we was like, well, we learned a lot of good stuff. Let's share with other married people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they started asking us questions. We were like, well, this is what we learned.
That's
you know,
good.
So that's how this whole platform started. So I think when I say like, I think we needed that at first, I think we needed that because we didn't know, we really didn't know how to do it. And we didn't have any examples, and we became the example. So we was learning, trying to figure it out, getting these skills and tools and resources so we can share with other people. And I think we learned a lot from.
For sure.
We had some great counselors. We had multiple different people we used to talk to. But,
And I think too, that's the value of them, because you only know what you know.
Right.
And we weren't connected to a lot of couples who were married or have direct access. It's nothing like being able, even just sitting here listening to y'all, we're gaining so much insight. This paper thing, I'm gonna go home and sit down with that and ponder on that, because I like the way you put that.
me too. Because we're going to be on the same sentence.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, that part.
On the same page.
So being able to sit at the feet, though, of people who are married, who's already doing it, we didn't have that much access like that at first. And not only just it's a difference between just knowing a lot of married people, but feeling comfortable being vulnerable
Right.
in front of, people is a whole nother ballpark. So I think that was one of the pieces of the value that I think we got from therapy. And she gave us tools.
Okay.
So to me, sometimes, like a word can give you how to be a good person, but sometimes how I say it, can you give me a practical example? I'm a practical person. Strategy, give me steps, and I know exactly what to do. Sometimes you don't always get that just sitting, or sometimes from preaching you can't always get that. Everybody don't teach practical steps that I can go home and say, okay, communication, they said step 1 is only let Deontay talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's value in both.
There's definitely value, and I think you get what you need at the time. During, I feel like every season we was in therapy or counseling, I got what I needed at the time. Like even our last therapist, when we was talking to her, I always remember, give the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Give the benefit of the doubt when you're in your marriage. Because we make up these stories, like you were saying earlier, in our head, because we don't communicate or ask questions, and we think that she tried to set me up. You know what I'm saying? She wanted me to go out here and sell drugs. And get, you know what I'm saying? How I'm supposed to get this money? You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do? I'm doing the best I do. I'm going to work every day. You know what I'm saying? So you think all these thoughts of what's going on, but no, she not really want my worst thing to happen to me. You know what I'm saying? She want the best for me, but we just got to get on the same page and same
There you go.
They work together like that. You cold. You put it in me. I was like, you cold.
So let me ask you guys something. So when you said you went to counseling therapy, was it because you wanted something or because the situation happened? Now, the reason I ask because in our community, I'm a little older than you guys, that therapy, oh no, what happens here stays here. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But when you said it like so open, like it's cool, it's free, it's like this thing to do.
Yeah.
Would you recommend therapy to people just to be going? Not because of an issue or crisis.
No, I think it's good to prepare, even before you have a situation, because you already have the skills and tools placed to learn how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I think some of our counseling has prepared us for stuff that we might not dealt with, but we already had the skills and tools to know what to do when we got in a situation. Now, we done had to call. Like I had to call my pastor a few times for because it was a situation right then and there. Help me! You know what I'm saying? Type thing. Like, so it's definitely been on the spur of the moment, but there's also been like, let's go, let's learn, let's build on our relationship, let's figure some things out beforehand too. And I think maybe our first marriage counselors, before we were doing premarital counselors, we was doing it like, let's prepare for marriage. We don't really. Before we make this big step, let's figure out what entails in all this. So that's how that started, right? Yeah. And then pastor, we probably spur the moments. Bishop, help! You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then I think when we had our last therapist, it was more like we just wanted to.
We was trying to iron out stuff. we were just, to me, we were kind of at a place where we needed a deeper connection, and we was just getting stuck, like not being able to do the work. And I think it was just we didn't have the tools to do the work. Like we wanted to do it, but both of us were kind of feeling like our way is the right way, but we weren't getting anywhere with that way. We had been sweeping stuff under the rug just so we could still enjoy life. So we had mastered enjoying each other, but we hadn't mastered addressing conflict.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
And it's part of upbringing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Upbringing. I grew up a foster kid. You know, she grew up with a single mom. You know, so she never had her lights cut off. You know what I'm saying, or none of that type of stuff. And what's lights?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, all that. You know, so I'm thinking, you know, coming with a certain way, I had to learn really how to be independent living. You know, because as a foster kid, you know, you're taken care of.
Right.
I know I get 3 meals a day. You know what I'm saying? I know I get a clothes voucher. You know what I'm saying? Then I went straight to college, and they paid for my school, right? So I had the dorm room by myself, and then I had roommates, but you know, everything was taken. So when I'm coming straight out of that and marrying her. So she like, hey, we gotta do this. I'm like, oh, it's a grant out there. I'm a foster kid. They take care of me.
Yeah.
She's like, no, dude, we got to figure this out. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Like, no, I'm sure they're going to take care of me. I'm a foster kid. Like,
Wow.
she's like, you're a grown man now, boy. You better.
Wow, that's good. You know, because it sounds like, because I'm not one for counselors, and I let me take that back. I'm one for counseling, but it's always in a crisis. I counsel now, and it's always in a crisis where what I'm hearing is that we need to counsel before a crisis.
For sure.
As part of the relationship. After you then got married, you got premarital counseling, but then you should continue counseling if it's once a month, once a week, however you deem necessary. Because I think it's a great tool. You said that we want to have the tools before we start to work. So when the work comes, we're not looking for the tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So that was helpful because I'm going to start promoting counseling. You know, even in a marriage. Yeah.
I think like it's also important to not necessarily like we have a counselor, but we also have like you guys have your bishop, we have a bishop, and we look at his marriage, and that is something that we've always used as a tool for a guidance. Even for the people that we sat under before we moved to Toledo, we use them as a guidance because they represented the goals and the ideals of the marriage that we wanted in our lives.
That's true. Yeah.
And I think that might be what my bishop said when she said if we sit under leadership long enough, because it's so much I learned from just watching her and watching how she interact with her husband, or even when she's sharing stories from the pulpit. And I'm like, oh, Bishop used to do that? And look at her now. That's evidence. Look what God could do.
Yes.
You're married over 50 years.
Yes, major tool. That's a major tool.
So we're coming at the end, and we always like to ask at the end, if you could give any marriage advice, what would it be, or what's the best marriage advice you ever received? If you want to share that with the world.
I just think, like you said before, the communication is so important. It's so important. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to express yourself. It's just how you say it and when you say it and why would you say it. And after you've thought about it, it's okay. If you know that you found somebody that you want to love to life and this is a forever thing, right? Then you should be able to express yourself in a kind manner because we're growing this thing together.
Yeah.
Segue to the game.
Yeah.
Oh, how you feeling?
Best marriage advice is don't go to bed angry. And it's a lot into that because the main portion of it is if you go to bed angry, what if one of you don't wake up? You know, I'm sleeping downstairs tonight and you don't wake up. The last thing you said was you was angry, and the person living, it's a hard feeling. And I say that, and my brother was in prison, and I said, I'm not gonna visit you because you are always, you know, calling mom and you doing this, doing that. This was your second time in there. So I didn't call him. I'm like, when you call me, I'm not answering. I'm not writing. You better not write me. And he died in prison. It was a burden I had to carry for a while. And like, wow. So when I was told, don't ever go to bed angry, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Because what if you don't wake up tomorrow? So I think we've never slept apart if I wasn't out of town or she was out of town. And that's very seldom. We don't sleep downstairs or upstairs or, on the floor. We don't do that. We've never done that.
See, and I think what you just said is an example of therapy right there. That's giving me a skill or an experience that I can use before it even happens. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So that's what I say when I said talk about therapy or counseling and stuff like that. That was a concrete example to me right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, man, we love y'all being on the show. The
For
Mixons,
sure.
y'all was dropping
For
jewels,
sure.
jewels all day. Oh, it's an
Love
honor to
it.
have y'all.
Appreciate
Man.
it.
Thank y'all
It was
for
an
joining
honor
us.
So much.
Appreciate
Oh my
you.
gosh,
Yeah.
you guys are so beautiful.
Yeah.
We might have to have a
Yeah.
part two because
Okay.
they kept talking great. Hey, but we out. This is the Moss and Marriage Gold Show. I'm
That's
Dr.
right.
Deontay Moss,
I'm Dr. Crantea Moss.
and we include God in everything we do. This is the Goals. We see you later. All right.